Hello everyone, welcome to VAP Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. So today we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful Basque waistline cupped corset. So if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly do so. And if you're already a subscriber, this is me saying thank you and welcome once again. Do not hesitate to share this video, like it, make your comments. So let's get right into the tutorial. So I'll be using this leather fabric for the Basque corset, and I'll be using this coffee brown crepe fabric for the flared part of that's for the flared skirt. Okay, so I already have my pattern paper placed on the table. This is where I'm going to be drafting my basic bodies that will adapt into my corsets, that's into the Basque corset. Okay, so the materials needed to achieve this Basque corset, I need my boning, my bra cup. So now I have my basic bodies drafted out already, as you can see. So this is for the front. Let me label it F, and this is for my back. So if you take note, you'll notice that the back is shorter than the front. Of course, because we have our bust in front as women, so this has made the front length longer than the back, and the difference for this client is 2 inches. Okay, so that's my bust dart, which is 2 inches. So this is it. So I can see here I've added my sewing allowance. I just prefer to add my sewing allowance to the pattern. So here I added a sewing allowance of 1.5. I did the same thing here. Excuse me. On a normal day I like to use 2 inches, but I'm using a leather fabric, so I'm not looking for any allowance. I need it to be as firm as possible because we're making a basque corset that will have loops at the back. Okay, so now I want to begin to adapt my basic bodies into a corset, but let me explain the basic bodies for those that don't know how to do it. And like I said, I will drop the link in the comment section where you can watch how to draft your basic bodies from scratch to finish. Okay, so here is my starting line, which is the shoulder line. I came down by 1 inch, which is my shoulder slope. Then the armhole, the front armhole, I went in by 3/4 of an inch to avoid gaping. And then this is the bust line. Let me label it BL. Then this is the under bust line. And then here is the waistline of the person. Okay, so here's my waistline. So I took a dart of 3/4 of an inch on both sides. You can use one half inch, or you can even use 1 inch for your dart. In my case I use 1.5, so this has given me 3/4 here, 3/4 on this side. So it depends on how much tightness you are looking for. So this is just what I want for now. Okay, so and then the length of this, the front length of this person is is 18 inches, and the back length is 16 inches. So like I said, that the difference is 2 inches, which is the bust. Okay, so now without wasting time, let's begin to adapt it into our back's corset. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll come here and mark half of an inch. This is my center front. I'm going to mark half an inch. I'll take this half of an inch all the way. So now to get the upper bust line, like I said, this is the under bust line. So to get the upper bust line, I'm going to go up by whatever I have here as the distance. So the distance from the bust point to the under bust point is 3 inches. So that 3 inches, I'll add half inch to it. So this is my upper bust line now. So I'll just use my marker to mark it. So here is the upper bust line now. So I'll go ahead to take my line all the way up. That's this dart line now. I'm going to mark it to go up, which is 4 inches. Okay, so now the next thing to do, you're going to mark the neck width you are going to use. The neck width I'm using a neck width. Now this is subject to change because I'm just going to mark the neck width for now. So I'm dividing the bust by 12. Then I'll get the neck width of this person. So this is bust divided by 12. The bust is 36 inches. So when I divide it by 12, it will give me 3 inches. So I'll go ahead to mark my 3 inches here. So, like I said, it's subject to change. This is just for me to get my shoulder that line. Okay, so now I'll get the remaining of the shoulder. Here I have 5 inches. So what I have left here from the tip of the shoulder to the tip of the neckline to the tip of the shoulder, I have 5 inches, and then this is the midpoint, which is 12 and 2.5. Sorry, I beg your pardon. 2.5. So I'm going to bring that 2.5 line to this point. Okay, so I haven't brought it to this point. Can you see the dart is coming all the way from the shoulder to the bust point, and then the waist is coming all the way from the waist to the bust point. Can you see all of them are meeting? This is meeting here, this is meeting here, and this is meeting here. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so I'm going to now, the half inch I've marked here, I'm just going to mark it out. Remember that it's on fold, so this is on fold. This is one side of the front and this is one side of the back. So we're dividing our circumferences by 4. Just assume, just know that this is on fold. So let me make this mark so that we know that it's on fold. So once you see anything like this, just have it at the back of your mind that it's on fold. Okay, so now having done this, so now I want to begin to adapt to get the cup shape I'm looking for. So the under bust measurement of this person is 28 inches. So when I divide my 28 by 4, I will have 7 inches. So I'll place my tape from here because we want to tighten the under bust now. So I'll place my tape from here. So this is 7 inches. This is 7 inches. So here's my 7 inches. What do I have left here? What I have left here now is 2 inches. I have 2 inches now left here. That's what this means. I have 2 inches left here. Because how did I come about this measurement? The waist measurement is 30 inches, but because I'm making a corset, I reduced the waist measurement to 2 and with 2 inches. So by reducing it with 2 inches, it has left me with the same 28. That is the same thing as the under bust. Okay, so that's 28. So here's my 28 inches. Here's my 28 inches, which is 7. So 28 divided by 4 is 7. So, and then my dart of 1.5. So you can see I replaced back my dart of 1.5. So that is what I had connected to the bust line. I just went straight. I didn't care about the under bust. That's from waist to bust. So now this difference that we have here at the under bust is what we're going to be using to tighten the under bust. You can see I demarcated this line here is my allowance, is my sewing allowance, and I added a sewing allowance of 1.5. Can you see? So basically, so this is the difference between, this is what I have left here. So that's what I'm going to be using to tighten the under bust. The under bust, which is most likely is the difference between the bust and the under bust. Okay, so I'll come here now. If I have 2 inches left, so you don't want to put too much around this part. So if I have 2 inches left, I'm going to enter half inch on this center side. This is the center side, and then I'll enter the remaining 3/4 inch on this side. I have 2 inches, I entered half inch here, so I'm going to enter the remaining, okay, I'm going to enter 1/4 here. Since I have 2 inches, I'll enter 1/4 here, and then I'll enter the remaining 3/4 on this side. This is to tighten the under bust. Okay, so here I have my 3/4 inch. So this is it connecting to the waistline here, and then also to connect it to this point. Can you see what we have now? So I'll now bring in my curved ruler to connect it to the bust point. So you don't want it to be too sharp. So I'm just going to make sure that I blend it up nicely. So here we are. can you see what we have here now? So I'll bring my cup this way and also connect it this way. So can you see what we have? So now I also want to tighten the upper chest, that's the upper bust, okay? So on this middle part, I'm going to take half inch. And then on this side, I'll also take half inch. So you bring your ruler. I'm using the curved part of my ruler so that it's not too straight and it's not too curvy. Can you see what I'm doing? And then I'll go ahead to connect it also to this point. So can you see what we have? So I've also tightened the upper bust, okay? So I want to begin to form my cup. But before I go ahead to form that cup, whatever that, remember that we took that of 1.5 here and we replaced it back. So I'm going to still come here too and replace back this 1 inch that I've taken as my dart. So now this has now brought the armhole outward. So let me use my curved ruler to and my marker pen to connect it. So now this is that extra 1 inch. Let me mark it here. So this is now that extra 1 inch. So meaning that the armhole has come out a little more because we're going to be taking out this dart from here. Okay. So now I want to begin to form my cup. Okay, so from this is my sewing allowance. This is my sewing allowance. So from this part here is my actual measurement. So from this part, I'm going to come in by 1.25 or 1.5, depending on the person's size. This is a slim person. So this is a small size, that's bust 36. So I'm coming in by 1.25. So I'll bring this, my curved ruler, to connect it. Can you see from the armhole I came in by 1.25? So I'm bringing in my curved ruler to connect it like this. Can you see what I have here? So you can use your pencil to do it. I'm just using my marker to do it so that it's clear. Okay, so now you can see this half inch I have here, which is the center front. So I'm not going to let my cup touch that. It's not going to go into it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to come here also and place my curved ruler like this and then connect it also. So let me use my pencil to do this side. So can you see what we have? So this is where my cup is going all the way to go into this line. So I'm going to just use my eraser to erase this part. This is my cup now. So I want to have that sweetheart neck in front of this cup. So you want to come down depending on how deep you want to go. So this person's cleavage line, that's from the neckline, because this is actually from the collarbone. That's from the neckline, okay? So the person's cleavage is 6 inches. This is 6 inches. So she doesn't want her cleavage to be reduced. She wants it to be at 5 inches. So I'm using 5 inches to create my curve. So can you see how I'm placing my ruler now? My curved ruler now. I'm bringing it this way. Can you see what we have? So now I don't need this part of the neckline. I don't need this part completely. And then another thing I want to explain is this part that is curved inwards like this. I want this place to be straight. Let it look like the normal bra shape. So this curved, this sweetheart neckline that has come to meet it will come in here and just blend out this way. I hope you can see clearly. So I need to erase this part so that I can explain this part well. Okay, so I haven't erased it. So this is what the neckline looks like. So this is how deep it's going to be. Can you see? And then it just goes in like this, blends out like this. So this is what we want to have. Okay? This is what we want to have. So now, because I've replaced back this dart here, so that means the armhole has come out this way. Can you see? The armhole has come out this way. So for the shoulder, I just want this part. I just want it to be, this is just going to be the shape of the yoke or the shoulder that I'm going to have. So this is what's going to be the shape of the yoke. So meaning that I'm going to be cutting out all these parts like this. Everything here will go. This is just what I need to give me my armhole. Okay, so you can see here this shape. So this is just the part that I need. So let's continue. So now I want to go ahead and close our bust dart. So to close the bust dart, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to come out here by half of an inch. Then I'll blend it up like this to meet this side. You see what we have? So let me go ahead and cut it out so that we close our bust dart. So you want to just go out first, and then you come here to open to cut your bust dart. So after cutting out that bust dart, let me open the waist also. So can you see? Now I've closed my bust dart. So if I hadn't come out here, so now I want to just blend it up. Can you see where the measurement, this that's from my measurement, can you see how far I came out? So that's now it's the time to blend it up. Okay, so I'll blend it up to meet this part like this. So you want to use your masking tape to tape that part down. Okay, so I will now go ahead also and cut out the second back leg. So I remove my dart. Okay, so I'll come here too and then cut out this shape also. So you want to just tape down your dart so that so now that you're taping it down, you will notice that you need to blend up your cup, because by removing that dart, can you see that my cup now has shifted? So you want to make sure that you blend it up. So I'll bring in my curl ruler and then blend it up also so that it comes and blends up here. So that is it. So we'll go ahead and cut out this side. Start blending it up. And then here is my armhole. Also go ahead to cut it out this way. So here is the down part. Remember I said that I'm using only this part. I'm going to be throwing this part. This is just what I want for the yoke. So the whole of this part is going to be an open neckline. Okay, so let's put this aside. So here is what we are working with. And then this is it. So now it's time for us to cut out our cups. Okay. Now this is the center cup. So you want to label it. You're going to label this center, which is, and then here side. So you want to make sure that you are not making, you don't interchange them. If not, you're going to have issues. So if you notice this sharpness around here, just come in and trim it a little. You don't want your cup to be sharp, especially when you're not using wording to pad up the cups. I'm going to be using bra cups, so you want it to be as natural as possible. So this is what we have. So now we want to achieve the basque waistline. So right now we have a length of 18 inches here. We're going to be increasing this length to 22 inches. Don't do more than 22 inches. On the average is 3 inches, max 4 inches. So I'm using 22 inches for my length because the front length is already 18 inches. So I'll show us how to extend it to have the basque shape. The front length now to achieve the basque waistline I'm looking for. I'm going to, I have my paper. This paper is 4 inches. Ready? So 4.5 inches. I'm placing half inch on top of half inch. That's this is just so that I can tape it down. So here, so now I have a length of the 4 inches I'm looking for. So I'll use my masking tape to tape it down. I'll also do the same thing for this part. And also go ahead to tape it down. Let me keep my cups aside. So this is my center front, just so that the lines can match up. So this is my center front. I'll come down by that 4 inches. I want to increase the length of the front by. So that 4 inches, I'll come down by it, and then I'll connect it to the side. Connect it to the side. So you want to make it stop. You want to connect it to stop at the actual measurement. Don't take it to the sewing allowance. So can you see this is my sewing allowance? So it stops at the actual measurement. So I'm just going to erase this part. So can you see the V shape, the bust shape stopped at the actual measurement. It didn't go all the way to the sewing allowance. Okay, so that is it. So this is my center cup, this is it, and then this is the angle. So this is what I need for my, so I'll go ahead and then take this line down. Remember that it's opened, so just bring it down this way, so that I can slash it open. Okay, so this is what I have for my basque shape. So you can now open up this. So you can see I've now increased my length. So this is what I'll have when I join them together. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and cut out one piece when cutting your fabric, just place them together, cut out one piece. But if you want to have joinings, which is what I'm going to do, I will show us how to go about it. So for the back now, we want to treat the back. I didn't mention this. Can you see that after closing my dart, that the side front and the center and the side back, they are matching up? You understand? So help to understand, they are matching up. So you want to make sure that the dart you use is exactly the difference between the front and back. So I've taken out my darts also for the back. I've done my dart. So now I want to tighten the back before I go ahead to cut out the part where the loops is going to be. So for this back, I'm going to come in by half of an inch from the center back. This is just to eliminate bulge. So I didn't add zip allowance to this pattern because I won't be using a zip. So this is the bulge. I will just trim out this bulge. I'll cut it out so that I have my actual back. So here, trimmed out this bulge. So we're throwing away this one. So now we want to create the neckline. Okay, remember that the front we used a neck, that's the shoulder measurement we are using, is 2.5 inches. So here from this part, I'll just go ahead and mark mine 2.5 inches and then bring it down. So this is what I want to have for my back. Okay, so this is what I want for my back. So all this part will be cut out. So I'll cut it out. Okay, so at this back now, because I'm going to be using loops, so it means I need to reduce the measurement I have here. So on this waist line, I'll be removing 2 inches. Remember that this is one side of the back. So by taking away 2 inches here, it means I'm taking away 4 inches from the back, because this is, let's say this is for the right, and then we'll have the left. So I'm coming here to this part and also take away, I'm going to be taking away 2¼ inch. You want to make sure that you keep this, because it will come in handy when you are sewing your band loops. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out this part. CUT. So I'm going to cut out this part. Okay, so if you want to have this, let me cut out this part first, like this. Okay, so then I'll go ahead to cut out my neckline, because the whole of this part will be open. And so, yeah, so this is what the back looks like. Let's see what we have. So if you want to have one piece for your back, just like this, you just go ahead and cut out your armhole, and then you can close your dart. If you don't want to sew the dart, you can close the dart. So which will give you, can you see that by closing the dart, can you see the shape I now have? So if you don't want to close the dart and you want to sew it, I'm going to be closing the dart because it's very close to the loops already. So by taking out all this, it's already very close to the loop. So I'm going to make my back dartless. Remember that we have sewn our dart, so it's going to have the right shape. By closing this dart, in fact, we have sewn the dart already, it will still give you the right shape you need for your corset, okay? That's for the waist. So I'll go ahead to cut out this part now. So for the back armhole, and then we'll go ahead to cut out the sides. So if you want your back to be just one piece, this is what you will be working with, if you want just one piece. But if you don't want to have one piece, you cut out this part like I've done for the front, and then you can also remove this part, then join it together. But I'm just closing my dart. I'm okay with it. I don't want the dart to be too close to the loops that I'll be working with. Back now, I have just one piece. Okay, so that's that for the cutting. So let me place my pattern set together so that we can see it. Okay, so by the time, this is what we have here. Can you see what it is? And then when we place this here, and then our cups, both the center and the side front. So basically now it's time to transfer to fabric, because we are done with our cutting. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, kindly subscribe, like this video, and share it so that it can get to more people. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to cut out my patterns, then I'll show us how to couple it up. So that will be in my next video.